And okay, we're having some technical issues today. Let's probably try. We're trying all these new setups, and sometimes technical issues come back to haunt us. No guest this time. So as I said before, guests will start in September. So we'll start having guests back on the Suited Chef in September. But we're starting this new series, which is our recipe reviews plus doing the recipes in the show in the normal traditional format. In other words, doing it live from scratch with no here's what I prepared earlier. And we're basically going to do the recipe from scratch and see what happens. I've not cooked the recipes before. In fact, I've not actually cooked any recipes from this book before. And so we shall see what happens. Now, as you may or may not know, I'm a little bit of a closet, or not closet really, quite open Dungeons and Dragons fan. I've been a Dungeons and Dragons player since I was 12 years old, or 11 probably, even that, which is a long time ago. So what we suggested, Dre, who is manning he's not manning a camera today, he's manning a desk. He's elevated himself. He now has assistants. And like we have cameramen now, or camera persons. That's pretty politically correct. So Dre is now manning a desk. So Dre and I said, right, what should we do? Because Dre's into D&D as well. We said, right, let's do the Dungeons and Dragons Hero Feast Cookbook. So this is Dungeons and Dragons Hero Feast Cookbook. So it's an interesting one. It's the official cookbook of the Dungeons and Dragons. I thought that was quite interesting that Dungeons and Dragons would do an official cookbook, but hey ho, there we go. And it is interesting. I have to say, though, I'm a little bit worried. The front, I can see it's not vegetarian friendly. I'm just saying, there's a nice big pig in there. And the back, I'm even more worried about. There's a lady with a cat. Now, I'm not suggesting that they want to eat the cat, but it's just on there anyway. So, recipe book. I'll go through the review and talk about the cookbook as we go, but it's time to get cooking, so I'm going to take my jacket off because I can't cook in that. Seersucker. I was thinking, Dre, that of Tom Harrow today, our lovely friend Tom Harrow, who always wears seersucker when we film with him, and he of the great wine chap variety. So the lovely Tom Harrow and his wine chap site and his amazing wine investment and wine reference company. I will not remind Dre of the 4 bottles of wine that were consumed when Tom Harrow first came on the show. Between basically you, Simon Buchan, Tom Harrow, wasn't it?
Yeah, you didn't join in, of course.
No, I didn't join in, but there we go. So let me just rinse the handies and let's get on with the show, back on with the stuff. Hero's Feast, the official cookbook of the Dungeons and Dragons. So I had to flick through, and after some debate, I decided to do this one. So I'm going to go to the top camera now, the Coast Seafood Bouillabaisse. So bouillabaisse is southern French fish stew, effectively, and they called it Coast Seafood Bouillabaisse. Now, in Bouillabaisse, south coast of France, warm, hot, sunny. Sword Coast in Faerun, Dungeons and Dragons land, not warm, not sunny. Not sure where the significance is, but we'll run with that and we'll go through it. So it's an American cookbook, so American descriptions and American measurements. So I will see as it goes, but it looks good. The recipe looks good. I had to improvise a few ingredients because we don't have them. Or I couldn't find them, one or t'other. So we are off. We do have some assistants. We have Romero on manning the camera. Hello. And we have, I don't know, Nassos is what? Guest supervisor, camera assistant person.
Utility
man. Utility man. Yeah, what do they call them? Gophers. Gophers. Go for this, go for that, go for the other. I'm going to turn the central ring on of this lovely hob. We're back in here in this nice lovely kitchen to cook in. That's the Crusoe dish, which they call the Dutch oven in America. So that's on. Now I have lots of people to feed today. So I'm going to double the recipe as much as a little bit, well, probably as much as possible, just because I know how many people are here. So it says, I'm going to put it there whilst we got Dutch oven on, and we are going to chop. It says 1 large onion. It says yellow onion, which is the same, these things. And put it in with some oil and bay leaves and, what does it say? All in the oil, add the onion, bay leaves and some salt and cook and soften the onions. So that's what we're going to do to start with. So let's just start doing some onions. So, ladies and gentlemen, I know we're surprising you going live, but as you always know, ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions, if you have any comments, you want to discuss anything, we don't have a guest, so I am always happy to chat to the people online. I'm sure that Dre will be able to, now he's manning the desk, he's elevated himself.
So far we have 3 comments.
Oh!
Andrew Wilson just kind of basically giving you like a, he speaks.
Sorry. We didn't know whether we were live or not.
And Nick Pinches saying, hi Zach, looking very dapper.
Thank you very much, Nick. Nice to see you, nice to hear from you.
And
Hope everything's good with you.
And a compliment from Bill on your pink seersucker.
Ah, thank you, Bill. The pink seersucker. I do like the multicolored the seersuckers. I'm a big fan of the different colored seersuckers. And let's get some onions chopping here. Dre is doing running repairs by the looks of things as we talk. Oh.
Romeo, I'm going to take off the frame guides. Can you have a look? Sorry, this is going to be an intervention live on air, but that's something weird on the camera. Have a look. I'm going to take off the frame guides. You tell me if they go away.
Sorry, guys. So I'm chopping some onions. That's Dre's legs. Oh, I'm going to move that. I'm going to have to wipe that down afterwards, but there we go.
Don, here they have, on the laptop they haven't. No, on the food shot, is the frame guide gone?
Yeah, there was a delay on the feed, that's why it didn't immediately show up. My bad, yes, they got it on the program, yes. Sorry.
That's okay. Intervention required on live. This is live. We are always live on the Suited Chef. So things will happen, things will go wrong, technical things will happen, technical things will go wrong, and food things will go wrong. Hopefully not too much food things will go wrong. Last time we had a few food things go wrong, but I'll try not to make it too much go wrong today. I do love bouillabaisse. It's a very lovely dish. It's kind of like summer fish, a little bit of spice, some really nice tang to it. So that's what we're doing. So it says 1 large onion, so I'm doing 3 smallish onions. It's about the same. I know I should be following the recipe exactly, but to be honest, sometimes in life you have to improvise, you have to adapt, you have to overcome. Improvise, adapt, overcome. Quote from a movie, anyone? Anyone in the room or anyone?
Is that a Bear Grylls thing?
Nope. Movie 1980s. Improvise, adapt, overcome.
Running Man?
Right era, wrong actor.
Oh, Rambo?
No, wrong actor as well. It's from Clint Eastwood. I'll give you the actor. Now get the movie. 85, I think.
Dirty Harry?
No.
Really showing my age here.
Heartbreak Ridge.
I've never heard of it before.
He plays a crusty Marine Corps drill sergeant.
Clint Eastwood does? No.
Yeah, exactly. Plays a crusty drill sergeant who basically goes back to teach some young whippersnappers how to be real Marines. And his comment to them all the time is when they make mistakes, he goes, improvise, adapt, overcome. And so that's it. And I think that's one of the secrets to cooking, improvise, adapt, overcome. Sorry, cough there, because onion just went down my throat. So I'm going to find the recipe again because I've just lost it. That's why I tag it all the time. So it says onions, bay leaves. We have some lovely fresh bay leaves going in here. And some salt. And then we're going to simmer the onions down. And whilst we do that, we are going to chop a leek, which we have over here. A nice big leek. And some garlic. Yay!
They don't know the rule.
They don't know the rule. No, we'll explain the rule of the garlic in a second. But I went to the Isle of Wight this weekend, not for fun, but really to torture myself with a very long distance walk. When I say a very long distance walk, I walked 108 kilometres over 2 days, and round the Isle of Wight, basically, which was challenging. And luckily you don't see below my hips, because all you can basically see at the moment is my cankles, because my feet are so swollen. Sorry, if those of you who don't know what cankles are, sort of that's when your calves merge into your ankles, so you can't tell the difference. So I went to the Isle of Wight, and the one thing we did on the Isle of Wight with my lovely lady was we went to, on the day after I finished the walk, we went to the garlic farm, because the Isle of Wight is weirdly famous for garlic and tomatoes. So I went to the garlic farm and brought basically loads of garlic, because we on the Suited Chef love garlic. Love garlic so much that everything has garlic in it, and it's very rare that nothing has garlic in it. No, I mean ice cream aside, but garlic is essential. Now, and I like this recipe because it does adhere to the Suited Chef rule. Now,
Is that one of the bowls?
Hmm?
Is that one of the bowls?
That is one of the bowls we
Hold that
brought.
up for the camera, Leslie. Dear Lord.
That's the giant garlic. So, what is the rule of the Suited Chef? Let's see if we can guess. Nassos, what's the rule of the Suited Chef with regards to garlic, do you think?
Whatever the recipe, sorry.
Yeah, as much as you possibly can.
Okay, double whatever you say, Romain. Okay, the rule of the Suited Chef is very simple. There is no such thing as 1 clove of garlic. So when a recipe says 1 clove of garlic, you go, really? Honestly? 1 clove of garlic? You'll have to be mad. But then again, when the clove of garlic is this big, maybe we might have to adjust our recipe thing. What do you say, Dre? And the clove,
That's pretty big.
it's pretty big. But still, we don't do 1 clove of garlic here at the Suited Chef. So we will find another clove of garlic, because it's supposed to be 4 cloves of garlic, or 5 cloves of garlic. Oh, good. That means that we'll do those 3. That should be enough. Yeah, so the Suited Chef has a couple of rules for our newbies. Rule number 1 is there's no such thing as 1 clove of garlic. Because we did read a recipe once, didn't we, Dre? It was like one of the early shows, and it was no such thing as it was like 1 clove of garlic for a dish, and we were like, how can you have 1 clove of garlic? Now, little chef's tip. If the onions are, it's too hot, so I'm going to move to a different burner, but if the onions are starting to burn, one of the things to do is put just a small dish of water into it, to basically a little dash of water to sort of stop the burning of the onions, because you don't want burnt onions, you want softened onions, so always good to do that. So I've got chopped the leek here, and it says chop. Next thing is chop garlic, and then add some of the flavouring. So we're going to just do that. I can't actually do that. I can't even bash this clove of garlic. My God, that is a monster clove of garlic, I have to say.
Meat tenderizer.
Yeah, jeez. That's fantastic. I wonder what it tastes like. We'll find out. We'll find out. That's a monster clove of garlic. So they did black garlic there, and they did, well, what was the other one? Smoked garlic. So once we find some recipes, when we're back on the traditional Suited Chef one with our guests, what we'll do is we'll get some black garlic and smoked garlic recipes out and do that. Rather.
Bill asks if you know the etymology of seersucker.
Now I wrote an article about seersucker for the Perfect Gentleman a long time ago, and I remember that it is a southern. It stems from, if I remember correctly, the cotton stems from India, and the style stems from India, and I think. I'm trying to remember where the etymology of the seersucker comes from, because I know it when it's a very traditionally southern USA clothing. So actually, I can't remember. So if Bill remembers, then he can enlighten us, because I did write an article about it, but it was many years ago for the Perfect Gentleman, and I, to be honest, can't quite remember off the top of my head today. But I do like seersucker. I like the pattern of it and things like that. When I put my wiping thing. So, leek, garlic, onions are softening. Almost softened. I'm going to add just a smidge more water. This is boiling water I'm going to use for the stock in a second. But I just don't want to let the onions burn. So we're going to do 2 recipes today. On the Super Chef, we are doing the bouillabaisse, the fish stew, and then we're going to do basically cheesy brioche French toast thing. Looks very good, and probably do very well served with the bouillabaisse as we go through. So, so leeks, garlics, and then we can add the. Okay, so we're going to put the leek and garlic in now. Sometimes, I mean, not in this recipe because I'm following the recipe. I would just use leeks instead, not with onions, just on its own. So it adds a particular flavour. So you can replace leeks and onions sometimes. Leeks are a bit more pungent. They have a tougher taste to them. But they're good. They soften like onions. You treat them like onions. So what we're going to do is we're going to add some, where are we? Some fennel seed. Which is going to be difficult to open. There we go. It's just going to be like that. It says a teaspoon, I think, if I remember correctly. A teaspoon of fennel seed. So a teaspoon. That's fennel seed going in. And we got some chili flakes, red chili flakes going in. Bit of heat going in there. And we have, what else we got on the list? We have, yes, the very expensive spice. Saffron. Saffron. A fantastic coloration and delicate flavouring, which is ridiculously expensive. I can't remember where it is. It's almost, I think it weighs more than, it sort of costs more than gold, I think is by weight, by ridiculous amounts. Where are we? How's much saffron going in? Ooh, quite a bit actually. Okay, so bit of saffron going in, and we can always add more as we go, but I'm just, checking the recipe as I go. And what was the other thing? Saffron, blah, 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 fennel seed. That's all in. We're going to give that a stir. Mix that in. Again, it's quite hot, these things, so I'm just going to add a smidge of water. So the water doesn't affect any of the flavour, and we're going to fill it with stock anyway later. So we will go. Now, this, for those of you who are not aware, Dungeons & Dragons, a role-playing game, The original role-playing game, before there was computers, people actually had to role-play with each other and use paper and pen. And Dungeons & Dragons was, oh God, it's almost 50, is it 50 years old soon?
1972, I want to say.
I think it's...
That seems about right. Nearly.
Yeah, it's sort of heading up to its 50th anniversary, so it's been around for a while, and it is having a resurgence in the recent period of time, thanks to the new edition, 5th edition of Dungeons & Dragons, which is quite easy to play, and also live streaming. The internet, this stuff, and video cameras has helped bring Dungeons & Dragons to the fore, especially the great show Critical Role with Matthew Mercer and all the other fantastic people on it, Ashley Johnson, Liam Bryan, oh God, Taliesin Jaffe, Sam Riegel, Marsh, oh God, I'm going to get remembered. Marisha, Laura Bailey, thank you for helping me out because I can't remember all of their names off the top. And Travis Willingham.
You get one of them on to guest.
Oh, that would be fun, wouldn't it? I would like to imagine what they would want to cook. That would be an interesting thing. So that's going down there. Right, what's next on the list? We're adding tomato paste, tomato puree. We're going to add, what have we got for the tomato puree? And okay.
Smells saffrony.
Saffrony, yes. Ooh. Ooh. There we go. So, bit of tomato puree going in. And we're going to stir that in and mix that in. And then we've, ooh, bless you. Bless you, bless you, bless you. And that's going in there. And we're going to get the fish stock ready. I probably need a bit more, but I'll add some more water into that. So now, fish stock. It used to be hard to find, and you had to definitely make your own. But nowadays you can buy fish stock cubes like this one, these ones from a leading British supermarket chain, and you can make them in pots. You can make them yourself. If I had the time, I would make them myself, which is very simple. Get all the fish bits and boil it down like you make any stock. So boil it down, then sieve it out, drain it out, and then freeze it, which is basically what is done with these stock cubes. It's no different. It's just easier to buy them. So we're going to mix this is some hot water. Yes, sir.
Is there a wrong kind of fish stock? Someone attending this recipe might want to avoid.
No, I mean fish stock is pretty much the same. I mean, you could use seafood stock. You can make it with pure just seafood, prawns and crab and that sort of stuff, rather than just fish. But I like the combination of those two flavors. It sort of gives it some more depth for the fish stock. So I would use both. And then we've got what's next going in. It says, after tomato paste, cook and stir. We've done that. Add the wine. There we go. Add the wine. I know that's a tough gig for everyone, the wine bit going in. So turn it up. Yeah, it again burns off the alcohol. So we're going to burn off the alcohol now.
And the wine juice.
And that's going to go in. Oh, that's starting to... Oh, yeah. Wine. You can smell the alcohol burning off. Let's bring it up to simmer. That's simmering away. Fish stock, there we go. Why am I... feel like I'm... I know what I'm missing. I'm just going to step off camera for 1 second, because I know in this lovely household there is always extra stuff here. There we go. Thought I forgot something, but there we go. So we're simmering that away. That's burning off the alcohol. Yep, it's going off. It's a lovely smell, and it's got that So bouillabaisse has that lovely deep red colouring that goes into it. So we're going to get that going and stir that in, and then once we've got the base broth basically going, what I'm going to start doing is prepping the cheesy toasty things, which I kind of just looked at and just went, they are brilliant. I'll show you them in a second. So Dungeons and Dragons, going back to Dungeons and Dragons for a second, very famous thing, and they decided to do a cookbook, which I have to say was a bit weird. You know, it's a bit strange. It's a bit off kilter. It's like, well, we've got a role-playing game. It's really popular. Let's do a cookbook because, yes. So it's an interesting one. The book itself is beautiful. I have to say, the book itself is really beautiful. Okay, so that's simmered away. Sorry, I'm just double-checking that as I go. That's good. I can smell the alcohol's gone now. Or most of it's gone anyway. Okay, so we're going to add the fish stock, the tin of tomatoes. We're going to add some orange zest. So the fish stock going in there. What we can always do is add a bit of water to go in. And we can add, I think I'm going to add a bit more water. I think as we're doubling up the recipe a bit, we're going to add a bit more water. There we go. And that's going to simmer away. We're going to stir that in, get that going. And then we're going to add the can of tomatoes, which is going in, give it that rich depth of flavour as well. So get those in. So you can peeled plum, chopped tomatoes, anything like that. That's always good. These are peeled plum, but I'm just going to break them up a little bit. And they'll break up a little bit more as they go. Just 1 tin, it said. Following the recipe in that sense. And there we go. That's going to boil through. Just going to leave that there. Just make sure the next one, what have we got there? Yep, orange zest. Let's get the orange zest in. My favourite tool, ladies and gentlemen. I know if you haven't been here for a while or you've not come up with across this thing, this is a zester. It's fantastic. Every time I get this on camera and people use it, all the guests have bought one, right? Every single guest has bought one of these things, right? They love it. And I have to say, it is brilliant. It's a microplane zester, and it's just genius. So it is the simplest zester in the world. It's very good. Makes a good gift. If you're thinking for a little birthday gift, it's a bit early for Christmas, but you never know. You know, get it in now. It might be on sale on that store that everyone loves to shop on at the moment, thanks to COVID. So get the zest of a whole orange in there. I might use the juice of it later in something, but there we go. Let's get that zest in. Mimosas. Mimosas, yes. Sadly, no booze on this one. Next time we have to get you on Romeo with Tom Harrow on. Get the booze in. So that's going to put that there at the moment.
It always did make stabilizing the camera easier. Glasses of wine, and you're kind of like, whoa.
Well, there is some wine there. I can get a glass for you if you really need it, you know.
Yeah, but I mean, like I'm a slightly jittery individual, so sometimes just a tiny bit to relax a little.
Calm the nerves, I think, is the technical phrase, isn't it? That's what they used to say. Was like, I'll just have a little snifter to calm the nerves. So that's what we're doing, calming Romero's nerves. Okay, so that's going to simmer away. I'm turning that on. So let's just go back to the cookbook for a few seconds before I go into the next recipe and start prepping that. So
are we doing them all in a row then?
Sorry?
Are we doing all the recipes like together, like one after the other?
No. We're going to just do the two from this book.
Sorry.
No. 2 from this book. Just 2 from this book. This is the. So I said there's bouillabaisse, cheesy toasty things, other recipe book. penne pasta and cannelli bean dip. So if we want to stay for the next show, that's what's happening. So let's just go to the book for a second. I'm going to swap you to the top camera. Make Dre swap cameras.
Bill pointed out that it's backwards for the audience.
What is?
The shot.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, so they're seeing it upside down, the book. Which will have to perhaps change. It makes more sense in terms of visual angle, but yeah, of course they can't read the book.
There you go. That's the book. Your right way around. Thank you, Bill. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to read upside down. So the book is very pretty. I'll flick through the book this way. So it's beautifully done. It's lovely. Food shots are great. The elements are really good. So I've changed the book around. Happy now, Bill. Happy now, Bill. So it's a beautiful, beautiful book. I mean, the quality of the book is stunning. The art is stunning. The photography is really good. The food photography is excellent. The recipes are very simple to follow. They're very easy to see. So I'm just going to flip it around for a second to get to the 2 recipes that we're doing. They're easy to follow. The instructions are quite simple. There's the little description of the sort of D&D description. Most recipes have a photo, which is good, so you understand what you want to achieve. There is what it says. The details, this goes over 2 pages. So it's a nice, simple book to look at and read. The recipes are quite simple. As a cookbook itself, some recipes are really, really good, and some are a bit sort of, I'd call cheaty simple. Sometimes it's kind of like they've just basically rehashed a cookbook. I mean, basically, a cookbook that gives you bangers and mash is kind of one of those cheating recipes in my book. You know, I know people say that they, end recipes for everything, and basically candied bacon, so bacon drizzled in maple syrup.
I have both shots, so you can stare at the camera whilst we talk.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, you have picture in picture.
Yeah.
We're going fast now. Yeah, but I have to look at what I'm flipping.
No, but when you look up,
you don't
need to. There's 2 completely different things with your face and hands at the same time.
Yeah.
It's so complicated about that.
So anyway, so the books are there. It's split into the different main races. So there's, and in Dungeons & Dragons, there's humans and dwarves and elves and halflings, and then they have some uncommon cuisine and stuff like that. The authors are actually Dungeons & Dragons authors, so the guys who have written books on Dungeons & Dragons and stuff like that, not chefs, but I'm pretty sure that they have some kind of food technician have done this. But it's good. I like it. If you're a Dungeons & Dragons fan, it's very well worth the price of admission. If you're a cook, I don't know. It's okay. It's pretty good. It's nice to have on the bookshelf, but I'm not sure. It's a nice book to have. It's a beautiful book, but probably if you're a true Dungeons & Dragons fan, that's probably what I would say go for. Apart from this recipe, which I have not seen before. So I've not seen this one before. I've seen what we call eggy bread or French toast before. And I've seen sort of, cheese toasties before. But this one, not seen before. This is stuffed egg battered toast. So it is a mascarpone cheese. So I'm going to turn it around that way. So mascarpone cheese. So I'm going to do that. Mascarpone cheese with inside brioche. So if you want a large calorie fest, this is what's going to happen to you. So it's mascarpone, walnuts.
Are we receiving this bounty?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
I'm going to do it now.
Amazing.
So it's mascarpone, basically, and walnuts stuffed into brioche, battered in egg, and then fried.
Power word, heart disease.
Yeah. I think basically I just hear groans from everyone of happiness and joy. That's basically what I'm hearing. Did Bill come back to us with the seersucker etymology?
Unfortunately, he informed me that he was watching during his 15-minute lunch break, so he regretfully had to leave.
Oh no!
He was very upset.
I'll tell him he's only working from home. No one will know.
Oh, but he does say hi to Romeo, and did he scan the kitchen with divine sense before starting?
Ah, very good. Like it. Wit. Right, let's.
The humor
D&D humor for a D&D cookbook. All right, so we're going to get a bowl, and we're going to get something out of the fridge. So hold that thought, ladies and gentlemen, while I sneak out to the fridge to get the mascarpone and walnuts, which I need to finely chop. So I'm going to leave that knife there, and I have the walnuts here. Okay, so now it says, what are we talking about? Where's the mascarpone? 4 ounces. I always have to do this in head. It's probably 1.5 of those. So, and I've got to make more. So here we go. So mascarpone cheese. Now I basically, because we try and do everything on the Suited Chef where it is, you can buy it supermarket stuff. So like anything, you know, this is pretty good, but if you want really good mascarpone cheese, go to an Italian deli, get it properly from there. But supermarket mascarpone cheese is perfectly fine. I'm gonna get another one. Doopy-doopy-doo.
Romeo helpfully managed to not only follow your line, but found the origin of the word seersucker.
Ah.
Comes from the Persian phrase shir or shakar, meaning milk and sugar, for the alternating textures.
Ah, because I know it comes from the fabric comes from India. Because I remember it was brought over. Thank you very much. I remember this. It was brought over from India during the Raj and the British occupation of India. And it was brought over and then went to the cotton, and the pattern went to America, where it became popular as the seersucker popular thing we do today. Oh, this is bubbling away nicely.
Andrew Ellis says, welcome back.
Oh, thank you, Andrew. We'll have to have you back on the show as a guest when we're back to COVID-friendly guest time. So I've basically, I'm just going to put that there so I don't want to store that. Oh, one thing I forgot to put in the bouillabaisse. So what it says is put our Pernod or pastis into the bouillabaisse, which is a liqueur which has a aniseedy flavour. Unfortunately, we for some reason we couldn't find any Pernod or any pastis in the shopping expeditions we went on the last 2 days. Some reason it must be summer and people are buying Pernod because they want to go to, imagine they're in France as they sit on their terraces. So the same flavouring is star anise, which is the base flavouring of pastis and stuff like that. So I'm just going to put a couple of bits of star anise into the bouillabaisse to give that sort of aniseed flavour to it. Where am I? Walnuts. Nuts. That's basically where I am. Walnuts. So I'm going to turn this over so I can basically chop a bunch of walnuts. So that's the mascarpones in there. I'm going to chop some walnuts. Now, it says finely chopped, and I would imagine it needs to be finely chopped to go into the middle of a stuffed slice of brioche, which is going to be fun to do. So let me just get these chopped. So this recipe, I thought, my hungry gannets of crew and family who are here, because of course the school holidays is off, and they are ready and willing for more food, because that's the way it goes. Let's get that chopped up. So, chopped walnuts. Let's just feel a bit big bits there. Let's get those in there. And let's see now. I'm going to stir this in, but I'm going to, why am I missing? Oh, that's what I was going to say. Now, on the recipe, it just said stir it in. I'm going to add 2 things to this, and I know I should be following the recipe exactly, but the chef in me just kind of goes, I'm just going to add a tiny amount of lemon juice. I know it's a sweet dish, but I'm trying to break down, soften the mascarpone a fraction, and also just cuts through a lot of the fat of the mascarpone. I'm going to add that in, and I'm just going to mix that in a little bit. It's going to be fun. And let's get that going, soften that up, bashing the mascarpone to soften it up. And I might just, that's what I'm going to do, is add a smidge of whole milk, not too much, tiny, tiny, tiny bit, just to soften it up a bit. Just like a splash of whole milk to soften it up. And the recipe said, oop, I now have to go off for, nope, I thought I brought it, sweeten it up. It's a bit of honey, there we go, smidge of honey in there. Okay, so let's just get this bashed in. We don't want it too soft because you've got to stuff the bread, and it's got to get that melting texture going in. So that's the gorgeous mascarpone gone in there, and that's going to be good. Now we're going to get our eggy bread mixture before I start stuffing. So we need some eggs, which I know are over here. Ooh. 1 egg. Might be limited on the eggs. I should have brought some, but I neglected to. Get the egg in there. And milk. And a little bit of salt. And whilst I'm doing that, I'm just going to have a quick check of the bouillabaisse and make sure it's simmering away nicely. I'm going to tip this so you can see it, because you can't see it there, but that's fine. Just oh, gorgeous smell of all those flavors coming together is spectacular. Really, you can just, oh, so good.
You smell the aniseed.
Yeah, well, you want to smell the aniseed. That's a core flavor to what we're talking about here. So, oop. So basically, we're just going to whisk the egg and milk together. There we go. Probably should have checked on the eggs, but there we go. That's what we're doing. I'm just checking on what was going on here. Right, here we go. So, whilst that bubbles away, just put that on the side there so I can do that. Let's write down. Let's try the fun, messy bit, shall we? Let's get the fun, messy bit out of the way. Here we go. I feel like the Swedish chef in the Muppets making a huge pile of mess. Now, what it says on the description is you take a slice of it, you slice the middle of it and you stuff it. We're going to try. So, bit of brioche. And whilst that's going on, I am going to grab the, which I can't see quickly because it's there. Butter. So let's grab, so to butter the pan. So, brioche. What do you think? No? I'm going to stuff it. I think that big, right? I think that's good. So, let's see how this goes. What do you reckon? I'm going to be silent for a second. I apologise if it, the
Crucial step.
It's like doing surgery, exactly. So there we go. Hollow out a little portion of that. Let's get that. Let's get stuffing. Let's get that right down there. You know, you've got to stuff to the bottom. You can't sort of cheat it. You know when people stuff and it always gets just at the top, so it doesn't quite get filled. You've got to really get in there and wedge it in. There we go. So that's wedged in. Right, so that's one. I think we managed that okay. I did realise that I was feeding the 5,000, so I did bring a lot of brioche. So now I've figured out how we do this. I'm going to do that and get stuffing. So excuse me while I stuff. Any questions, Dre, or does anyone else have any questions, thoughts?
Some likes, and people are tuning in and saying, I think they're happy we're back.
They're happy we're back. We are back. We are back with a vengeance. We'll be back properly, regularly in September. If you stay tuned to the Facebook and social media posts, we will be telling you whose guests are on and when we're starting properly. The live day will change though. We are going to go, we are no longer going live on Thursdays. We are going to go live on Fridays. Two reasons for this. Mainly, it's easier to get guests on a Friday because they're happy to come and be party to basically a food fest. And secondly, Dre and I had some commitments and we thought it was just best to do basically filming on a Friday. So that's second one done. I just heard the pitter patter of one of the house dogs has just sort of walked past me, sort of sniff, nose in the air, basically going, there happens to be food going on, and I am not getting any. What is happening here? So I have to say, it looks good, smells good. We'll see what's going on in a second. And this is the last one of this batch we're going to do before I go back to the bouillabaisse. I'll make some more later because I can see the greedy people. There's people now queuing up behind Romeo going, hello, food, people, food. So let's get this little lot done. This is nice. I think this would be great to do with kids. I think it would be great to do with kids. Just because it's fun and messy and relatively simple to do. Okay, that's that one. Squeeze that down gently. We'll come back to you in a second. Right, wash my paws. Let's get that. Where's my wiping cloth? Is there where I put it. Let's get this pan on. And turn you down a fraction. You're down, you're on. Let's get some butter in there. because that needs it. Because if we, didn't realise we needed any more fat in this dish, we'll have some butter in there as well. I'm just going to put a smidge of oil so it doesn't burn, and get the butter across. Now, the second messy bit. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get that going first. Let's get the butter melted before we start anything else. So I like this recipe. I've decided I like this recipe. It's a good recipe. It's simple. It's effective. Some of the recipes we've had on the Suited Chef, not been easy to follow, not been easy to done. Well, last time we did this, the Raymond Blanc one was a little bit less easy to follow. But I find very interestingly that in cookbooks, my theory of cookbooks is that cooks' cookbooks are better than chefs' cookbooks, because chefs usually, they have the idea and they have a staff. They have sous chefs and commis chefs and people doing stuff for them, and whereas a cook is doing it all themselves and usually don't have food technicians and other people sort of to help them out. So I like cookbooks generally better than chef cookbooks. So it's my just personal opinion, We all are entitled to them. So, ladies and gentlemen, there we go. Let's try this out. So, first one in. Let's get it in the eggy bread. Let's drip this out. Butter's cooking. There we go. Next one in. Just going to turn that up a fraction. Let's get that in the... You don't want to get the pan too hot because, of course, you don't want to burn it. You just want to get it a nice colour. So let's get, I think 3 will get in the frying pan. What Americans refer to as a skillet, but I don't. Here we go. So I'm just going to do 3 for the moment. I'm just going to wash my hands again, or rinse them off just while not anyone else has touched it. And oh, did I not stuff that one? Okay, we'll have to come back and stuff that one later. So we're going to have 3 to share to start with, whilst I move that off the way and move you here.
Nick said, in my honest opinion, you can never have too much butter.
You know what? I don't disagree with that, Nick. I don't disagree with that. Butter is a good thing. I think it was interesting today in the news. They were talking about too much sugar and too much salt, and I totally agree with that. We have too much sugar and too much salt, but butter is, it's good. It's good for you. I like it. Right, let's just wipe this down. It's going to need this in a second to swap these over. So you're going back there, and you're going here because I'm going to have you for the fish in a second. Oh, actually, no, I need you for a second while I finish the brioches off. I gotta. Now, let's turn you up a fraction. Let's turn you over. Look at that. Look at that. That's colours coming. Oh. Now, whilst that's go, you have a look at that. Have a look at that for a second while I get the essential bits. One, two, three, four, 5. Which is the cutlery, because I know people are going to want to eat it. So I'm going to put that there, because Dre's going to have to get the cutlery in a second, because Dre is still chief taste tester. Not yet, Dre. You got a minute. Hold your horses, Dre. Hold your horses. You got a second or two. So we're just letting that cook through a little bit, get that colour through, and then I'm going to move on to the finishing off the bouillabaisse, and we're going to serve that with some crusty sourdough baguette. But let's wait for this. So yes, love the cookbook, love this, like this recipe very much. This is a nice recipe, see how it tastes in a second. But I like the simplicity of this. It's really kid-friendly. It's a really easy one to do. I would say, you know, this recipe alone is worth, no, it's not almost worth a book, but we'll see what happens there. Okay, I can't wait to smell-o-vision, right? I can't wait to smell-o-vision. Right, you know, what Willy Wonka smell-o-vision, that's what I can't wait for, because you could smell the cheese and the egg and all that sort of stuff now coming together. And I'm just going to squidge it down a little bit. And just check. That's perfect. Okay, so you can see the cheese is starting to melt. So I'm just going to stack you like that. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is basically what they call stuffed egg battered toast. I'm going to call that cheesy eggy bread with mascarpone. What we're going to do is I'm going to only drizzle on one side so people don't get too much. On one of them, that bit is just going to get a little bit of honey on the top there. Could have put maple syrup on there if you want. So I'm just stopping the pan going. Dre, are you on it? Romeo, got a shot? Got the shot? There you go. There's the cutlery for the hungry beasts. So hopefully we'll now hear the taste testing. That's what we're going to hear, Romero. We're going to have the taste testing. Oh, thank you. Cool.
I feel like we need a studio cam for this or something.
Oh, here we go. So the taste test. So here we go. I'm on it straight in there like a gannet.
Oh, that's nice. Yep,
Yep.
that's my new breakfast. That's what I have for breakfast every day now.
I need to get you a knife because you're obviously struggling with just... Here, there's a knife. Struggling with the fork. How's that, Aminda?
Very good, very good.
That's really good.
Oh, I like the way that Harmonic said that with surprise. Like, oh my God, that's really good.
The walnuts work really well with cheese.
So with the gannets are in, they are happy. Lady M not having it? You better give a bit to your mother. Romeo, stop the camera for a second. Leave it there. Go get the food. All go get the food. I'm going to go get... how was good, Dre? Yeah? Simple, right?
Yeah.
Really simple. And great... that's a really nice recipe. I like that one. We might be improvising that one. Because I think we could do a couple of things with that. We could do a couple...
Oh, my goodness.
You better give a bit to Rita, otherwise there'll be riots going on. Right, so we go back. We go back to the bouillabaisse. So, now, we are going to finish off the bouillabaisse. So, firstly, we are going to get the fish. So, bouillabaisse is kind of, it's fish and seafood, and I couldn't find any clams. Clams you're supposed to have, and I couldn't find any good mussels. I found some okay mussels, but I didn't find any good mussels. I found some great. I bought some frozen ones to add to the mix as well. So I've got some. I've got some haddock. I've got some hake. I've got some monkfish tails. I'm just going to close that. And I've got some salmon to go in here. So I'm just taking it all out of its packet first. So we can, because I've got to do a bit of deboning on it as well. Well, not all of it, but some of it needs a bit of deboning. So we are going to get in there. So that's all the fish that's going to go in. So let me get going. So just checking the fish for any big bones. You don't want any big bones in it. No. Okay, so it's meaty fish. You want solid, good, meaty fish, and you want it in healthy chunks, right? We don't want it in small pieces. You want it good, healthy chunks. Got some salmon here. We're getting in there. Nice, big, meaty chunks of fish going in. And we're all going to put it in at the same time because it's all going to cook at the same time. Take that off. There's a bit of bone in there, what we don't want. And there's definitely a bone in the monkfish tail. I saw that one, so I'm just going to debone that in a second. And let's get that in there. Okay, I see the bone in the monkfish tail, so we're just going to take that off. Take that out of the equation, literally, straight down the middle. We don't lose any of this gorgeous fish, so we're just going to... I haven't got a fish knife here, so I'm just going to do my best. There we go. There we go. Let's get this one off. Get this gorgeous monkfish in. Let's get you down here. Off the edge there. Oop. And off the edge. Sometimes when you try and do things quickly and live, it goes a little bit wrong. So we'll just take that out like that. And take that out like that. Take that out like that. Get rid of that for the moment. All right. So all the white fish, and the solid sort of meaty fish and a bit of salmon, it's all going in the bouillabaisse. We don't want it to break down too much, so we're not going to stir it very much. We don't want to break the fish up. So we're just going to let it cook and simmer gently. We're just going to stir it very gently to let the not the fish break up at all. Just let it and get in there, and that needs to simmer for a little bit. And whilst that simmers, I'm going to find the other bits that I brought. So, prawns are going in. Just going to take them out and rinse them off. So, there we go. They're going in. I'm going to turn you up a fraction. And lastly, I said I didn't find any fresh mussels, but I did find some cooked mussels. So they're going to go in right at the last minute, just because you don't want to cook them too much, but they want to get a bit of flavour because they're already cooked. So we're just going to add sort of a handful of those at the end just to warm through. So we're just gonna literally just almost plunge the thing in. You don't want to break up the fish too much. I'm going to turn that up a little, let it cook through a little bit. I'm just going to make sure there's nothing else in the recipe that I'm missing. It says, aha, yes, one final thing which I need to do, which I'm going to get rid of you because it's all very fishy. We certainly can't use that one again. I'm just going to run off camera. And get the parsley to decorate, and I'm going to use that breadboard that we've already used the brioche on for the bread, and I'm going to get some bowls off camera. So we can serve. So basically now we're just letting the prawns and the fish cook. I'm just turning it up a little bit. All good?
I was trying to get his attention.
Oh, okay. That's going off as well. Any other comments? Anything going on, Dre?
No, at the moment. We still have some people watching.
Hey, hello
Around
people.
About lunchtime, probably, for people.
Everyone's getting a bit hungry, yeah.
We probably encourage that as well.
Yeah, we've encouraged the lunchtime rush. Let's get that going. So basically we're just letting the fish cook now. I've turned up the gas a little bit to let it boil through and let the flavours go into the fish. So when the prawns turn pink, which means they're cooked, I'm going to add the mussels in, and then that's going to be the last bit to do, and then we shall serve with the fresh parsley, which we have here, and also the some baguette. I'm just going to rinse the knife because that's had onions and garlic on it. But go on the fresh parsley when we serve it. So, ladies and gentlemen, yes. So first, our second cookbook review. Hero's Feast, official D&D cookbook by Carl Newman, John Peterson and Michael Whitwer. I like it very much. It's simple. The best recipe so far, I don't know, I haven't tasted this one yet, was the eggy, bready, cheesy stuff, which I will be baking for myself, I think, after this we've gone off the live, just because I need to do that to taste it myself, because otherwise I will be suffering without it. So we're just waiting for the fish to cook. So are you enjoying this version of the show, Dre?
Yes, it's interesting trying to mix it live. And actually being able to pay attention to it rather than also fiddling with the camera and the screen. But I feel very focused on switching the cameras. It's a different experience.
And how is it switching the cameras?
Yeah, very cool. Good. It
Yeah?
looks really nice.
Good, excellent.
We look like a real cook show.
Yay! Yeah, can you, I said this to you the other day, right? I said this to you the other day. Imagine when we started the Suit Chef, which was what, 2017?
Yeah, I think so.
2017, when we started the Suit Chef, with your iPhone, a stabilizer, and like ridiculously cheap lights. And that was it. And look where we are.
Yeah, bit by bit.
Bit by bit, slowly but surely, we're becoming a professional show. Something like that. All right, what am I after? I am after mussels. That's what I'm after, because they're cooked. I'm just going to put a few of those in. Meh. That one, lone one, wants to go in. Go on, in you go. There we go. And let's just gently stir you in, because we don't want to ruin the fish. And what I'm going to do is turn you right up now to sort of boil through and cook through. And whilst that is going on, I'm just going to get some parsley chopped there. Put you back there. And get some parsley chopped for I need one of those rocker knives, you know, There is that? Yeah.
It's not going there.
Ahaha. Thank you very much. Excellent. See, I like this household. It has all the toys. Right, that will do for that. And then I'm just going to put that there. I'm going to do some bread, because you've got to have baguette with a French dish, even though it's supposed to be not French in this book, but there we go. Let me just check. How are we doing?
Which race did they assign the French to?
Sorry?
Which race did they assign the
Humans.
Humans, okay.
Humans. I'm just going to just... You know what? That's not bad. That's not bad at all. Right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to plate. There we go, it's turning you right down. I'm just going to put that there so now Romeo can get the shot. Hang on 1 second, Romeo, just 1 second. I am looking for the neat and tidy bit. So we just clean that up a bit so it doesn't... A little bit of parsley, a little bit of bread. Oop. Well, that can go in there. And we need a spoon to taste, ladies and gentlemen. But there is the Sword Coast Bouillabaisse, or Bouillabaisse.
Amazing.
So, Dre, as always, as first honoured tester of the food, is going to sneak into... See, there we go, test, whilst we serve up the rest.
Hold on. That's very nice.
There we go. So I'm just going to plate up one more plate, so the rest of the Gannett household behind Dre can attack the bouillabaisse. Oop. Let's go that way around. Hang on. Yeah, I'm just going to do that. Oop, bit too much parsley. There's a bit of bread. There you go. Oop.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So, ladies and gentlemen, there we go. I think we're almost done. Hopefully that you've enjoyed today's show with our multi-camera angles and multiple people and everything going reasonably to plan. I think we did a couple of good food recipes there. I think we did some interesting things. So, the cookbook review. Heroes Feast Dungeons and Dragons cookbook. I would give this 4 stars out of 5 for the book itself. It's a beautiful book, it's well described, everything like that. I think the recipes I would probably only give 3 stars because there's a lot of recipes in here which are kind of a bit simple, but the ease of the recipes I would give 4 stars. They're really easy to follow, really nice and easy, simple recipes. The 2 recipes we did were excellent. They taste really good, according to my chief taste testers. So, ladies and gentlemen, Heroes Feast cookbook is our cookbook this time. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. I'm Zach Faulkner Barfield. This is The Suited Chef. Ladies and gentlemen, stay safe, stay well, keep cooking, love food, enjoy what you do, and eat well, and live life well. Take care. We're out.